Hey people, this is the famous move called Windmill. I'm sure you guys all heard about it. There's a lot to say about this move, so I'm going to try to break it down into certain parts. For beginners, this move is a lot of technique. You gotta spend a lot of time doing this move, and if you're trying to pick up a move in 5-10 minutes, don't even bother watching this tutorial. So, now how am I going to start off? First thing you gotta know is stretching is really important. So, trust me, if you don't stretch before, you're going to pull stuff and it's not good.
You spin my head right round when you go down, down. She got me throwing my money up. Ain't nothing more beautiful to me. It's going down. From the top of the floor, I watch her move. She got me throwing my money up. Ain't nothing more beautiful to me. It's going down.
So now the stretching goes like this. First you want to stretch your back, because this is the motion you're going to be in. You do the... Alright? I'm really tired. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll briefly explain you them. Alright, this is the... You want to stretch right here. Alright? So you don't have to do the splits, but you want to kind of start them. So try to hold this for as long as you can. Next, the back bend. I'm not going to do the back bend now, but do a back bend. It's good for your back. Also this one right here. Okay. You want to go as close to your head as you can. Your feet close to your head, and that should pretty much cover it. So that's the stretching part. Now to actually do the windmill, first part is the baseball slide. All right. So before you start doing this, you want to have a proper baby freeze. And because that's what you kind of do in the windmill, you kind of spin, go into baby freeze, spin, go into baby freeze. So, you want to have your baby freeze with your legs spread out, and you want to make sure that all the weight's on your right hand. So, like this, and you want to kind of start letting, you want to be able to do that. If you're doing that, that means the weight is properly on this hand, and this hand is being used for balance. Okay, now that we have that, there's one more thing. You want to be able to turn your hips properly as well. You want to be able to, that's what makes you spin in the windmill, the fact that you're turning your hips. So, from here, doesn't matter where your head is, but you want to get this idea. Okay, so now we got that taken care of. Let's go to the baseball slide. You're here, okay? Now, the way the windmill works is, you fall down. People think the windmill is you're pushing yourself to that way. You're really pushing yourself down. Alright, you're doing this. It's the fact that you're turning your body that makes you go that way. So we've taken care of the baseball slide. Let me show that to you again. From here, like that. Okay? Second part. Once you're doing that good, you want to go into you want to start entering the back part. So you want to throw yourself onto your back and into your upper back. Okay, I've seen people do the windmill and they do it on their lower back. It looks so ugly, I can't even tell you. They're not even doing anything close to the windmill. You want to stay on your upper back. Okay, so now that you're on your upper back, you're entering your V position. Alright? So you're entering from this position, you're going to go like that. Now, the biggest mistake that people make on the V is they do shit like this. So they'll go like that, and it just doesn't look nice at all, and you won't even be doing a windmill. So, also, when you're doing the V, the second you put your feet together, your windmill's dead on the spot. Alright, what makes the windmill possible is the fact that you're spreading your legs. And the trick to get that right is, your legs don't really move positions, they stay stiff in this position. So they're just going to be like this, like that. They're not moving, they're not doing any of this. Okay? So now that we've taken care of that, let's go into the second part. From here, you're going to go from the baseball slide, you're going to push down. Right? You're going to push like that, and then you're going to let your shoulder hit in. So, first out. It's kind of hard for me to go on my upper back when I'm teaching this. But yeah, you're first down, okay? When you've mastered that, you're ready to go into step 3. Alright, step 3. Now once you've done the slide, the first shoulder, which is the first L, and you go with the second L. The second L, to complete the second L, is probably the hardest part of the windmill. So now, we're going in. First L, second L. Now, once you're doing this, you've probably been doing windmill for like a month or two or something. So you're pretty far into it, if you're doing this properly. Now you're here. This hand goes out. Protect your face, okay? And you hop to enter the next, okay? Now, that's hard. I'm telling you, it's going to be a bit hard at first, but there's certain tricks to it, and this took me a while to figure it out. So now you're here, okay? Let me just actually start from here. So, now you're here, close to your chest, hand goes down. This foot kicks your face as hard as you can. You're not actually going to kick your face, but it's going to give you that lift you want. You're going to use your right foot to kick your face. Your left foot is going to kick up as high as you can, and that's going to give you that like pop you want. Notice that I'm going clockwise, so I'm using my right hand, going clockwise. Those of you using your left hand are obviously going counterclockwise, so kind of reverse everything I'm doing. Now, once you've done that, your windmill should be like this. Okay. Just because you're doing this doesn't mean you're doing 2 windmills. It means that to do 2 windmills, you gotta get enough height to throw yourself into the second. So you really gotta work on this part right here. You gotta work on pushing yourself up and getting that giant height to kick your right foot under for the next. That is the 3 steps of the windmill. Okay, so now that we've taken care of the 3 parts, now it's how to start it. Okay, there's tons of different ways to start it. I'm going to teach you a basic one and probably another one. But for the basic one, people tell you stupid things like do this stuff like 8 times and then just throw yourself on your back, which is completely pointless. So you want to kind of build up a momentum. You want to go into it like that, okay? So you get that momentum boost. If you're doing that, that means you're doing it right. If you're getting that push after, that means you're doing it right. You want to swing on your arm for as long as possible, and that's when you release for the first spin. Okay? So here, now release. Okay? It might take you a bit of time to master that, but once you get it, it's a piece of cake. So from here. That's 1 clean windmill. Another way to do it, I don't know, people have all sorts of stupid names for things they come out with, but they call it like the power step or whatever it's called. Pretty much, it leads up to any power move. Alright, so I'm not going to explain it deeply, but I'll go through it briefly. Spread your legs up like this, okay? Now, this hand replaces this foot. Okay? That's how it works for any of them, but for the windmill you want to stay low. So, alright, so that's how it would be. That's 2 ways to start it. One more way to start the windmill. It's actually one of my favorite. It's doing it through the 6 step. So, well, since I'm going clockwise, obviously my 6 step should be clockwise. So I'm in my 6 step, and then from here I'm going to use this foot to push me into it. So it would look something like this. Like that. That's the 3rd way how to do it. So now to finish off, I showed you the 3 ways how to enter the windmill, how to actually do the windmill. There's a lot more to say about it, but that's the most I can put into like 7-8 minutes or whatever this movie is. So practice, and don't start with the standing up entering, start off with this one. It's a really good one. I'm sure you're going to have tons of questions if you're actually in this movie. Send me an inbox or whatever and I'll be glad to answer you. Remember, legs always spread out, wear protective clothing. So don't go in a wife beater because you're going to burn your back pretty nicely. Also, personally, I kind of fry myself here a lot. Maybe that's just me. So practice a lot and comment, and if people have a lot of questions, I'll kind of like make like a little clip explaining all those problems because there's so much to say about this move. As you get better at it, you realize that your hands don't do so much work, it's your feet that does more of the push. There's different ways. There's head mills. There's tombstone mills. There's baby mills. There's nutcracker mills, which are windmills without hands. So you're using the momentum of your shoulders to pop yourself. You're skipping all this part. It's pretty cool and it's pretty hard. But for beginners, use your hands. As you get better, you'll start centering in. So at some point, your windmills will no longer be using your hands. You'll just be using it to redirect yourself. Remember, kind of like make the speed between your hands to your back equal to the back to your hands. That's probably hard. But keep practicing and let me know.